The political parties. I'm starting with the political parties just because I've heard many people comment about what is the Green Party, what is the Libertarian Party, what does it mean? Anyway, I'm just going to cover it all so that you can have an understanding of what each of these parties are about, and hopefully so that you will feel free to expand your voting options and not feel confined to the big two. The Green Party is effectively an extra-liberal Democrat party. They support high minimum wages, price caps on housing, sustainable energy, socialized healthcare, progressive taxation, withdrawal from Iraq and Afghanistan. They have an opposition to bailouts, a support for carbon taxes. They want to amend the Three Strikes Law. They're all for repealing the Patriot Act, requiring presidential election by popular vote instead of electoral vote, socialized energy, global warming legislation, endangered species legislation, all of that. They support illegal immigrants' right to work, and they want to end torture and unwarranted surveillance. So that's the Green Party. The Green Party can get kind of wacky, but the Peace and Freedom Party is outright absurd. In fact, I'll just read their description of their purposes from the handbook here. The Peace and Freedom Party is a working class party in a country run by and for the wealthy and their corporations. We should not have to sacrifice our health, our livelihoods, and our planet for our bosses' profits. We can tax the rich, whose wealth is entirely created by workers, to pay for the people's needs. We favor bringing all the troops home, ending all discrimination, full rights for immigrants, and by immigrants I'm sure they mean a little more than immigrants, free health care for everyone, good services for disabled people, restoring and protecting the environment, real democracy and fair representation, free education from preschool all the way to university, and decent jobs and full labor rights for all. As long as our system puts the wealthy first, we will suffer war, police brutality, low wages, unsafe workplaces, and pollution. And they say it, we advocate socialism, which we see as the ownership and democratic control of the economy by working people. If we join together and take back our industries and natural resources, we can work together democratically and cooperatively for the common good, rather than being slaves to the rich and their corporations. Vote for those who speak up for your needs, the candidates of the Peace and Freedom Party. If one of these candidates actually ever got elected and implemented the policies they keep talking about, these principles of freedom, I'm sure that many of us would be freed from our jobs. Dearest listeners, I'm not going to get all into it. It's just important to know that everything can't be free, and you can't keep taxing the rich and expect them to continue to produce more wealth. And socialism just doesn't work. It doesn't work. The Libertarian Party. In my experience, there are two kinds of libertarians. All libertarians are fiscally conservative, but they can be either socially very liberal or socially moderate, but usually not too conservative. Their main idea is that the government should take just enough money in taxes to fulfill constitutionally mandated responsibilities, but nothing more. Moreover, it should stay completely out of our personal lives. And I'll read their description here just to give you a fuller idea. Libertarians work to reduce government spending, promote business development, which creates more jobs, reform public employee pensions, which are bankrupting cities, counties, and the state, privatize services that are best delivered by cost-effective providers, guarantee equal treatment under the law for all Californians, strictly regulate, control, and tax marijuana for adults, thus making it less available for children, and reduce sessions of the legislature to every other year. Okay, so yeah, that's them. The American Independent Party calls themselves independent, but they are pretty much a very conservative version of the Republican Party. They stand for a party of ordered liberty in a nation under God, strict constitutionalism, free enterprise, reasserting the basic human right to property, protecting all human life, however weak, defenseless, or disheartened. And they have a strong emphasis on the 10th Amendment, which is the Small Government Amendment, and the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. They're strong on military and national defense, and they support secure borders and no illegal immigration. Finally, I think we all have a general enough idea of the Republicans and the Democrats, so I'm not going to waste your time here. I think there's a lot to be said in a deeper context, but that's a bigger discussion for a different time. During the remainder of the show, we'll cover the Senate, the governor, and the lieutenant governor races, and then a couple of other smaller offices, and a very brief pass, and lastly, the justices of the Supreme Court.